Okay, and we are back with the Color Hub.
Hi everyone, this is Michelle with Shannon, and we've got the whole crew here tonight, and Dog's playing ball, so you're going to get everything. So this is what we're going to be doing tonight. This is, excuse me, this is what I did this afternoon. Lorelei and I picked leaves, and we got a couple that looked pretty. I just wanted to show you, I think I showed you before, this really pretty paper. It's 100% cotton, and it's got wildflowers embedded in it. And this is a couple paintings that I did with them. So I did a cardinal and I did a waterfall, and it's just really unique. And I think we'll do something with this
at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe even Saturday. We don't know yet. Maybe Saturday.
Probably not Saturday, because I think Saturday I want to do something with this water-soluble graphite. I've got the graphite pencils that are water-soluble, and I've got the sticks, the big sticks, which I have not tried out yet. But I absolutely love the pencils, so we will try to figure out something to do with them.
So Darcy's on, and she says, hi, guys. And Nick is on, and he says hi.
Hi, guys.
And then Darcy said, Cardinals already.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know Shanny.
She's trying to get it out of my system. She's hoping if, I see enough of them, I'll stop nagging her about them.
Okay, so today we're going to be using Ohuhu alcohol markers. Okay. And this is actually the very first time I have used them, believe it or not. I've had them for quite some time. I think over a year. Shannon, I think you've used them, haven't you?
No,
you
wanted me to, and I was like, I'm not good with markers. So
now, I did, as soon as I got them, I did
oh, you did, oh my goodness, swatch.
I swatched them out. I even wrote it down. I swatched them out, and that's a good thing to do when you get markers, especially, because the color on the tips of your markers is always a little bit off from what the marker actually shows. So I'll show you. This is the GY5, and that is way off from what the GY5 actually is when you swatch it. And of course, it's always different from, depending on the paper that you use. The paper I'm using here is the Ohuhu Marker paper, and it's a very smooth paper, and it won't soak up as much of your marker.
So you're not going to like burn through a marker on one picture.
Exactly.
I didn't know there was marker paper. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Now and this is actually the real leaf, by the way. And this is the colored leaf.
In case you were waiting to find out. Or, yeah.
A good way to determine if you're using alcohol versus watercolor markers is the alcohol will go through your paper. So the Ohuhu pad gives you a piece of a plastic sheet that you can put behind you.
Using that earlier today, and I was like, I don't know what she's doing.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
So I put it behind my paper as they work on it.
Now, do you have to clean off that plastic sheet when you're done? Or okay.
No, it never really messes with that. So that's my swatch, and I have swatched out the colors that I think I will be using tonight. And I did put them in a cup just so that I'm not like going through them like nuts. But they are labeled here so that I can go through what's in the cup. And then we're also going to be using my water-soluble crayons.
New ones, right?
My Caran d'Ache. And these are very expensive crayons. And I don't expect anybody to really have these. I'm just obsessive over art supplies. And these are just like, it's like playing with silk. So these are really awesome. And I'm not even going to tell you what I paid for them. My husband's in the other room. But
how much did you pay, Missy?
no, so these Lyra are like just about as good, but they come in a much smaller color
tin
supply.
Oh, okay. Less range of colors.
Yeah, this isn't the biggest. I should have gotten the largest Lyra, but I wanted to see what they were like.
Yeah.
And this one happened to be on sale at the time.
Oh.
This is the 24 count, and they do come in a 48 count, but the 48 count is as many as you can get.
Oh, okay.
I have the 84 count of the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2s, and that's as large as you can get. So the 24 count here is 2704.
Was that on sale or before the sale?
That's regular right now.
That's actually not bad.
And these are literally almost as good as the Caran d'Ache that we will be using tonight. I'm going to just set those off to the side. And the Caran d'Ache, these are from Switzerland, and I love anything Caran d'Ache, so I'm kind of a Caran d'Ache fan. Yeah, and they come out in these beautiful metal tins. And I've already pulled out my Caran d'Ache crayons that I actually want to use tonight. And the other thing with the Lyra, and I'm going to contact Lyra, when they arrived, remember when they arrived, they were all broken up.
Oh, that's the one?
Yeah, and I'm going to actually contact them. I was a little disappointed with that, so I'm going to contact them personally and see if they can do something about that. But these are the Neo Color 2, the Aquarelle, and they're absolutely beautiful. So, and they come in this beautiful tin, and they're amazing.
Yeah. Let's see if I can just get this so it's a little less tilted because it looks a little weird, guys. Yeah.
And you just don't want to have those drop on you guys.
Yeah, because they're very expensive.
And they're very fragile.
Mm-hmm. And
they're
that's
like your colored pencils. You don't want your good colored pencils to drop.
Mm-hmm.
But I had the Caran d'Ache colored pencils as well, and those are like butter. Mm-hmm. And I also swatched out the Caran d'Ache, the 5 Caran d'Ache crayons that I might use as well.
And that's fine to use on the marker paper, or does it play different?
Nope, they play fine. So there's the leaf that we did earlier. And here's the leaf that we're going to do tonight. So we went out and found a different one.
And we have Ashley Volger.
Hi guys. Hello.
They've seen some different people on.
So I picked out some, these are more golden Taklon type. They're very firm brush tips, and that's what you're going to want. And these are, they're going to be able to push around your watercolor crayons.
Okay, because it's like a thicker thing, so you need more stiffness.
Stiffness, yeah. So, did I tell you what everything else? Oh, the Ohuhu Markers. I wanted to tell you what those were.
Yeah, you only told us the price of the Caran d'Ache.
The 48 count that I have is on sale right now for $34.99.
Okay.
With a 5% off discount on top of that. So
if you like what you see, on Amazon, right? So hop on Amazon
and the pad of paper that I'm using is a 7x10. It's got 120 pages, and that's on sale for $18.99 plus a 5% discount on top of that. So,
cool.
And I think that's all I wanted to tell you as far as that. Oh, and as far as the markers, when you're storing them, don't store them upright like this. Store them on the sides. Otherwise, they're going to dry out. So always store your markers on their sides. And I think that's it.
And then this fancy palette that you got.
Oh, this Caran d'Ache palette that I got it's smooth on one side, like a regular palette, and it's rough on the other side so that you can use it to pick up your crayon, and then you can pick it up with your brush
just like paint,
and use it like paint. So that's what that's for.
So you can either put it right on the paper and work with it, or use that fancy crayon palette.
That's what that's for. Okay. Now,
so Nick asks if storing your markers on the side, does that apply for all markers or just this type of marker?
these are dual tips. So we've got ink coming out. These are dual tips. So these are brush on one end and they're chiseled on the other end.
So you can't just do it upside down because you're going to ruin one side. Oh, okay,
yes.
that's why.
So, yeah, actually, I will show you. I am going to...
Darcy said, wow, learning stuff.
Yeah. So here's a chisel, and I can show you right now. Actually, since I'll get a darker color. I'll get this brown color. Here's the chisel tip. And it's a regular chisel tip like you would see on any marker. And here's the brush tip, which is just about like what you would see if you were painting. And you can get a very fine tip with it. And you can, depending on how much pressure you put down, or you can go on your side. There's a whole different variety of what you can do with it. And the same thing with the chisel. You can get a very fine tip with your chisel. Or you can go sideways. You can do a whole lot with your chisel as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's why you have to lay them on their side, because they will dry out.
Okay.
And make sure your covers are always on tight. So as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to put them back in their bag and they will go on the side. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is start applying my... Oh, I got to take this shirt off because I am way too hot. Shannon made me turn the heat on today. It was 50 degrees in here. It was the first day the heat's been on.
I only had to turn it on because I wasn't feeling good.
So, if you don't have markers, you can use, whatever you have. Colored pencils, you can use gouache if you have gouache. These are very opaque mediums, the Caran d'Ache crayons, they're very opaque. So you can use whatever. And with the Caran d'Ache crayons, you need very, very little water, and you're going to see that when we start using them. Oops, where did I do my leaf? Now, when you're doing this, observe very carefully what you have here. What do I want to use?
Like how many veins and your... there's a fancy name for the points on leaves, and I just learned it yesterday, and I just forgot it.
Really?
Yeah.
So, this leaf has a lot of, like, little speckly dots. She's going to look it up right now, I bet you.
Oh, no, I was replying to that.
So, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to get the chisel tip out. So, I'm just going to put a bunch of these little speckles in that are all in here. Some of the tips have more than others. And I like getting the darker spots in first, the darker areas of whatever I'm doing in first, because it helps you get your, can you hear her?
Yeah.
Getting your darks and your lights in first helps you get your values set. And then you can do all your mid-ranges. So...
Yes, I'm actually looking this up now because now
you're curious.
Well, I just learned it, and now I'm frustrated that I forgot.
So I'm just going around where I see a bunch of these black dots. Obviously, it's not exactly where they are because you would be insane and have much better eyes than I have.
And you don't have to do 100% everything either. You can just do impressions of things.
And for this, I'm going at a 90-degree angle, just right up and down. I'm trying to very quickly.
Oh, it's just called the margins. You find out how many margins
The margins?
are on them. Yep.
Okay. Can't imagine why you forgot that one. That was so interesting.
Yeah.
So I think now I will go in with, let me see, the YR5, is that this? Yep. And with these markers, there's a stripe that tells you the brush end.
Oh, okay.
So the gray stripe tells you the brush end.
Ooh.
So you don't have to like
Yeah.
flip open each
Yeah.
end all the time.
So apparently Darcy and Nick knew what happened to me on Friday, so we were just replying to them about that.
About the tick.
Yeah,
Oh.
wasn't feeling good today, not because I'm sick, but because I had a little incident with the woods on Friday.
And of course, she goes to the doctor today, and the doctor doesn't want to do anything.
I'm a special case. Darcy said one of my kids has Lyme disease.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, the doctor didn't want to do anything because, you know, ticks aren't all that prevalent in New York, and she just told her to wear a turtleneck from now on.
Yeah. And take a shower when I come in.
Yeah. Take a shower, wear a turtleneck from now on.
Mind you, I was in the hot tub on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I didn't go completely under.
No,
I just,
because you didn't go and probably
Yeah.
didn't go that high end.
Yeah. So I don't think taking a shower is the solve all for after you go in the woods.
I just think if somebody got bit by a tick, and
Yeah.
you should see the bite mark. I mean, it's red and swollen.
Darcy said we had to fight to get him tested for it. It was a nightmare. Well, it'll be an adventure. We'll see what happens.
Idiot doctor.
Could be nothing. Could be fun.
Idiot doctor. They were more concerned that she had COVID or depression.
Or flu.
They were more concerned that, are you being beaten? Are you being beaten at home? Oh my God.
Well, they said abused. But...
Abused. I was bit by a tick. Are you being abused? Yeah. That's why I came in. Idiots. You need a new doctor.
Everybody stick to art. Don't become a doctor. Well, don't be a human physician.
Well, we need to
We'll say
start
that.
selling more art too.
Yes, if I end up with Lyme, we're going to have to sell more art, guys. Speaking of which, we do have a GoFundMe page for the Color Hub and Farmhouse Rats Art Center that we want to make. And it would be a public art center where we would teach classes for kids, adults, do art therapy. So it's going to be all-inclusive, very cool. It'll be a separate building, have everything that like a typical art studio would have, but on a larger scale.
Yeah. It will be, if we can get this going, it will be so cool.
Mm-hmm. And then as soon as, is it Sarah's Country Barn? I don't know, I keep forgetting the name of it.
Sarah's Country Barn.
Sarah's Country Barn. As soon as they get their room set up for classes, we will be doing classes there as well. Not sure how frequent they will be because the other artisans will be using the space as well. So it'll give you a good idea of what you like and what we like about the classes, and we can make some adjustments. And then when we have the larger facility, the classes will be more frequent, more regular.
Yep.
Better.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, I haven't heard any more, so we'll have to ask how that's going.
Yeah. All right, so this one might be a little darker than I want. I think I probably want just the Y2. Maybe I want the Y3.
I think that's... You just hit your hand on the Y3.
Yeah, I think I want the Y3 here. Yeah, I want the lighter color here. And you will see that these colors blend really nicely.
Now, do you have the problem with because these are obviously a higher class marker? Do you find that it's picking up the other colors and dulling it, or does it hold on to its original color pretty good?
Well, we kind of want them to blend. Is that what you're talking about? Them blending, or
yeah, usually. So one of my biggest issues is when I'm using markers, say like when I was in school and whatnot. Well, let's say you just did something in brown or red, and then you went over it with like yellow. The yellow would start picking up the brown and the red, and then the color would be dulled. And then anytime you use the marker, it's just a mess.
Those were watercolor markers. These are
Okay.
alcohol.
Oh, okay.
And no, they will not do that. These will. These are very vibrant. They'll keep their color, as you can see right here. So that's kind of why I'm going. You see, I went dark. I'm going dark to light.
Mm-hmm.
But I want them to kind of blend a little bit. I just want to get some color in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go in with my chisel tip. I'm going in with a fine tip right now. And then I'm going to go in with my chisel tip. So I told you that I like to get my values in first. And it's kind of like when you're just painting. You want to go in with your value, set your values. And that's just like your lights and your darks. And then once that's done, it's easy to figure out the rest of your shades, your lights.
We have David Carpenter on. Hello.
Hi, David.
Now, because this is alcohol based and not the watercolor marker, do these stain more? Or?
These are staining colors. Yeah. These are
So what kiddos play with them?
yeah. Yeah. These are not washable. And I'm not sure about the toxicity of these, to tell you the truth. I imagine they're toxic because being alcohol.
Yeah.
So,
and they look like they probably have better dyes or pigments than what the watercolor ones have.
mm-hmm. Whoa, what color is that one? Ooh, not the one I wanted. Let's see what I want this one.
So it's really cool. I don't know if you guys can see it. Is the ends of the marker have the colors on them. So it has like a little color code, and then it actually has the name of the color. So Darcy said, "Don't suck on the markers."
Don't suck on the markers, no.
Different kind of alcohol.
Yeah.
Speaking of art supplies having interesting flavors and smells, somebody
Oh,
posted
God.
today. It was an old art teacher too. They posted a picture of, they have kids' scissors that are now
insane.
scented.
That
So
is insanity.
she mentioned that that's a quick nose job.
Who on earth would make something like that?
Well, when you're an adult, it does sound kind of fun to have
Scented scissors?
well, scented like it's just fun, but you're an adult and should be responsible and you know better than
I
overriding
never
one
even
of my
liked the
things.
scented markers in school. And I hated it when my students had scented markers. I hated it.
Some of the
Drove
smells
me
were
crazy.
special. Some of them smelled good.
Yeah, they were special, all right.
I do know that they had scented glue. Like I think last year,
Scented glue?
last year, the
Oh,
year
that's
before,
lovely.
Elmer's had scented glue for a while
God.
there. I think they had like blueberry. They were dessert scented too. There
That's
was, like,
just
blueberry
what
muffin
the
and-
kids need at school.
Yeah. So I'm not sure who's,
Right idea.
I don't know who's in the research and development department, but you got to stop researching and developing.
Maybe they should teach school.
Darcy said, I've never understood the scented markers.
Gross. And they don't smell anything like what you would think they smell like. They're just disgusting. And then when they're old, they get old, they're really disgusting.
So these, I don't know, well, my nose isn't a good thing to judge
You can't
from,
smell anything.
Yeah. These don't really have a smell to them, right? Like it doesn't really have a alcohol smell.
If you stick them up to your nose,
well,
like this close, yes, they have a smell. Now, some people say they're bothered by them. I am not bothered at all by them. So
okay. Because I know there's some people that they might be sensitive to certain fragrances, so I didn't know if that had like a vapor.
They do not bother me at all.
Okay.
I guess I'm kind of fragrance sensitive to some things, but these do not bother me at all.
Darcy said they smelled gross and kids do try to eat them. It's a disaster.
Yeah. Now these
like
brush tip markers, the ones with the brush and the broad tips are more expensive than if you got a chisel or broad tip and a just a fine tip. So if you don't think you're going to use this brush tip a lot, it's like, I bet $10 cheaper at least to get just a regular marker, you know, the dual tip, but a fine tip and a broad tip. So if you don't think you're going to use this fine tip or brush tip, go ahead and just get a regular marker.
That's good. I didn't know that they had that. I just thought that that's how they sold them, was you've got these.
No, these actually are relatively new. So
yeah, because you got them just last year, right? Or just the year before, or something like that.
Yeah, I mean they've been around earlier than that, just slightly earlier than that, but yeah. The controller's on the TV, huh? Sorry.
It's getting to be the winter months and getting dark early and start getting a house full of people. Now, how does this, so you said when you do the Cairn Dash, they're water soluble, so if you put water to this marker at all, is it going to ruin it at all, or?
Nope. Nope.
It just stays right where you put it?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yep, it's perfectly fine.
I think that when it comes to what Carol is saying there, there's a lot of truth to it. One thing that I think
This is therapeutic, especially if you like doing that. It's almost like the stipple.
Yes,
painting,
that's
right?
exactly what I'm doing right now, is just stippling.
But on a less extreme scale.
Oh, yeah. I have a friend.
This shouldn't take you days.
Her daughter does stippling. That's amazing. I am not amazing.
I've never seen you do it, so I can't judge that.
I like to stipple. I just it is therapeutic.
It would be hard for me. Like, I can't picture making something out of a ton of dots. Like, it just my brain doesn't get wrapped around that way. Very pretty.
Thank you.
And you can go and get any kind of leaf you want, or just use one from your imagination. If you're like Mom and you like to have, you know, something to refer to, so you can just kind of get lost in doing it instead of having to hold on to the image in your head.
I had fun picking them with Lorelei.
Yeah. It's that season.
Red for that.
Did anybody have any questions or anything that they wanted to comment on. Darcy and Nick are talking about things in industry that have scents to them that they shouldn't, because even adults could possibly drink them. And
Yeah.
just kind of builds on the stupidity.
Now, see here, I should probably not have done a solid line there. See how the broken line here looks much better?
Mm-hmm.
So if you just do a fine broken line, that looks so much better. But I can correct that with the crayons.
I was just going to ask that if you can
I can correct it.
kind of blur it. Yeah, because in nature you don't really see straight shape, like perfect shapes.
Well, here is a solid line, so with marker on it. So that's why I did it. But, yeah. Let's see here. What do I want to do now? Oh, I think I want to do a little G4. Get a little green in there, but I'm going to go in with the broad tip.
Seems like you're having fun with the markers.
Yeah, it is fun. And you know what? I have all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, I should do that. I really want to do that. And then I get like afraid to do it. So dumb.
Well, now at least now that we're doing the videos again, you're branching out and trying some of your stuff, and you're having fun with it, which is the point of art, is to have fun.
Yeah, I really missed being able to do anything.
Something like weirdly satisfying about the sound of a marker. I don't know. I think it's just from, because that's all I heard when I was a kid at school. We used markers.
I was just gonna say I loved it when my kids at school. My students would use markers too, even when they squeaked.
Oh, I don't like the squeak.
I didn't even mind it because they were working and they were happy and they were productive.
They were quiet.
My kids were never quiet. But they were happy.
Yeah.
I had happy students.
Yeah. Your kids, as long as they were doing what they were supposed to, that was good.
I had very happy students.
So you should be able to work this paper a lot with a marker, and it's not going to pill at all.
Oh yeah, this is beautiful paper. It's very thick. It's like cardstock. Yeah. Okay, so I think.
And then Nick said, I have a question. Will the color lighten like watercolor will? Like when it dries? Or is it...
No, this is how it's going to stay. I mean, right now it's wet. But within seconds you're going to see it lighten up. As far as it's going to lighten.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm going to take just a little bit of this YR1. Blend some of that into... I mean, you can see it wet, like right where I wet it, but it's going to dry right away. The alcohol is going to dry it. And I really don't even have to do all of this because I'm going over it with colored the crayons. And if you like it like this, you don't even have to do the crayons. You can just leave it marker. You don't do whatever you like.
But I think the crayons would just soften some of the edges and whatnot, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking around for the leaf. Where's my leaf?
They're all around us. I have a pile of leaves right in front of me.
They're going to be all crushed crumbs tomorrow morning.
Some of them are
already
curling up, yeah. And if there is a leaf that you really, really like and you want to hold on to it, I think you should be able to just put it in between some newspaper and put some weights on it and keep it present. It should retain most of its color, right?
Yeah, it'll retain its color. It'll just get all crumbly.
Yeah.
Take a picture of it.
Oh, fine. Use your technology. Take a picture of it.
And I'm not even one that likes technology. I only got on Facebook a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I always said I'd refuse to get on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I retired, and
And
it
then
was basically my only way to...
I'd come over and I'd be like, oh, so-and-so said this or is doing that. And she'd be like, how'd you know that? How'd you find that out? Facebook. Because I kind of talked her to get to Facebook. And now you're doing Facebook Live videos.
Yes, I am.
So it's worth it.
I think I'm going to just take some Y2 just to brighten up some of these areas now. And then I'm going to start in with the crayons.
Woohoo. I'm curious to see how that... I didn't watch you do the leaf today. I just saw the end product. So I'm curious as to how that'll turn out. Or how it works.
And don't let me forget to put the shadow in, too. I wonder if I should put the shadow in now.
Do it last. Like you did today. Earlier.
All right.
In case you move the stem or anything.
So you can already see how opaque these crayons are.
Oh, it's okay, guys. It's just the boy. It's just the boy.
A man cub.
It's because he was sneaking quietly into the house, so they thought he was a...
Yeah, he was trying not to make noise.
He did a good job. Dog's not so much. So are you just pressing down very lightly with these?
Very
or?
lightly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hardly putting any pressure down at all on these.
So they're really soft then.
Mm-hmm. And I've got that nice base of color underneath.
Mm-hmm. So when you lift it and move it around, you're almost going to have like some of that bottom color is going to come up through, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys missed any of the previous videos that we did for the past week and a half, 2 weeks, yeah, it would be 2 weeks now, since we started back up, they are on Facebook Live, so you can always scroll through the Michelle Annette account and look for them. The easiest thing would be to go to YouTube and look up the Color Hub. And
there's a couple different color hubs.
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure you get mine.
We tried to keep the profile picture the same as what we have on Facebook. So if you see the same image that you see on Facebook for a profile pic, that's our YouTube channel. And if you could subscribe to it, that would be great. If you haven't done that yet, subscribe to the channel. We are trying to eventually get up to where we can do YouTube Live videos. Unfortunately, you have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can do that. So even if you don't want to go through every single video, you'll see next to the Color Hub name, the channel name, you'll actually see it'll say subscribe, and there will be a little bell next to it. So just hit the subscribe button. If you want, you can hit the bell button, and that'll send you notifications when we put something up on YouTube. Because some things, I think we only put them up on YouTube, like the pre-recorded ones. So that way you'll get a few extra videos that you might have missed in the past. And then we'll get closer to our 1,000 subscribers.
And probably not until, well, I don't know. We're going to try to do some videos during the week too. We got a couple shows coming up.
Probably like between now and the end of the year, we might only do a few pre-recorded ones. And then definitely after the new year, once things are kind of quiet for a few months there, we'll be doing a lot of content and then putting that up.
Because right now we've got
two shows
coming up.
Mm-hmm. First one's on November 27th, which is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And that one's going to be at the Marion Fire Hall. And there's going to be a bunch of other vendors there as well, holiday vendors. And then the second one is December 11th at the Masonic Temple in Marion. And with that one, Farmhouse Rats, who we work with, will also be there, and we're going to try to have our booths next to each other. So you can come visit both of us really easy and check us out and support us.
That's not the color I thought I picked up.
Darcy said that looks really good. And then Nick says the sleeve is amazing.
Well, I haven't wet it.
I know.
Just wait.
The best part's to come.
So I'm going to take a Filbert. Let's see. Is that the one I want? This is called a Filbert brush because it's like a square brush, except the ends are rounded. And this is a very firm brush. You can tell that I'm pushing on that very hard, and it's very firm.
Darcy said, speaking of rats, I have a mouse in my room.
Oh, you have a mouse.
She said, I have named him Ratatouille. Darcy, just wait till Mom's done. She has got some stuff to tell you.
I got a mouse. Actually, I think I'm going to use the smaller round marker right now.
Flipped it behind the markers. I'll move him over here for you.
To get these fine tips here.
Nick said, name him Remy. I think they were rats, though, and not mice. Should name it, oh my goodness, now I can't remember the name. Oh no. And there's a whole bunch of movies. It was the little mouse that went to America, and I think it started with an F. Now I can't remember.
Francois?
No. I think he was like a little British mouse or something, or no, like a little Irish or something like that, and he came to America. Oh my goodness, of course now this is going to bother me.
Oh. Shannon Lee. So you can see that I'm just pushing this crayon around.
Fievel.
Fievel, yes.
Name him Fievel.
Can you pay attention to the video
yes,
now?
So is it, if you're not careful, will it spread easily outside the lines, or like how?
No, it's just wherever I'm pushing it. It's just I'm trying to get the points.
I didn't know if it was like some of the watercolor paintings where it was...
Oh, it'll spread?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
I think I'm going to zoom in so people can see it picking up.
Now you can see when I go in to get water, I dab off the brush because you really don't want a lot of water. You just want enough to be able to push the crayon around, because otherwise you're just taking your pigment away.
So should be able to, I zoomed it in, people should be able to see it a little better now. That's really cool how it has, you're just watering it and all of a sudden all the colors are popping up.
Yeah, isn't it? I love using this medium.
Mm-hmm. Now, could you use watercolor on top of it too, or anything that's like water soluble, or do you have to use something?
I doubt watercolor because this is waxy, and the watercolor will it will be repelled by the wax.
Could you do it after the marker step, or?
The marker, yes.
Okay.
I can. I just bought these markers. Now, I wouldn't go over this with my brush tip markers, these markers again, but I did buy real brush markers. They just haven't arrived yet. But I can go over this with those. I just haven't gotten them yet.
So what's the difference with the brush tip and just these ones?
Those are water-based, and the tip, it's a different tip. It's a It's a brush tip that is not going to be affected by the wax. It's not going to clog the tip. It's a nylon tip, and it's not going to hurt these. It's not going to hurt it.
Nick said it gets better the closer you get, so when I zoomed it up, they could see the details coming out. And Darcy said, amazing how real it looks.
Thank you.
Very cool.
It's a really fun medium. If you guys ever get a chance to get a hold of some of these, and you can get a small amount of like Lyra crayons. You can start out with 12. 12. Or, you know, something that's very similar is, and I've got these as well, that are really just as much fun. My oil pastels, and you can water those down as well, and they're fun.
So I think what I really, really like when you do these videos is you're showing how well a lot of these mediums mesh together and how to use them together. Instead of just, you know, you have to use marker, you have to use color pencil, you have to use paint.
And you can use them together. I mean, just like you just said, you can substitute, you can...
For example, like the effects you did the other day, the effects that you did with the pastels afterwards for the grasses and stuff, it was, you know, softer. You created texture with it that you couldn't do with the watercolor. It was just really, really cool.
Yeah, I like what I did. I worked on him afterwards as well. I don't know if Shannon showed you.
I posted the picture, so.
Oh.
And he is still available.
I like how he turned out after I worked on him a little bit more.
Now you're adding some red to the stem to do the same thing?
Yeah, get a little more definition to him because just to give him a little bit of oomph.
And you could get really crazy with this too. When you're all done with this, you could do like a background or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Up the lines a little bit, but and you can go over it.
Now, does it dry pretty fast, or does it take a while?
Dry. Let's see.
It keeps slipping for some reason.
And then you can go over this with more if you don't have the color you want.
So I was moving the camera, guys. I noticed it was going down for some reason. So you could just add whatever new shades you want.
Yep. Just keep going in.
That is very cool.
So now I'm just laying the crayon on its side and going in and just scumbling in some more color. Oops, Lord Almighty.
It's that time of year.
You must be having a lady friend over. Oh.
Always something here. Again, this is another reason why we really would like to get a studio.
Our own studio.
Well, as much fun as it is
we
to
are
have
taking donations, people.
Any, you know, rich benefactors, anything like that. If any of Darcy's sugar daddies want to step up, we're accepting them.
If you saw the setup she's got with my old-fashioned iron, you'd be laughing right now.
I know. I'm going to have to... I know I said this last time, but I'm definitely going to have to take a picture tonight and post that.
It is hilarious. It is hilarious.
And we have a mic that we can't use because my phone doesn't accept it anymore for some reason.
So I'm taking the crayon into the wet leaf right here, right now, and just painting it in there. So I think that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, put out lines. And Michelle, I just went in to fix that little bit right there.
And it lifted up pretty good, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So there you go. Now you know how easy it is to get the crayon off. The paper probably really helps too, because it's more of a, you said it's more of a gloss, not glossy, but more, less porous paper.
Yeah.
So it's probably easier to fix some of the mistakes.
So I'm going to put the leaf about in the same position that this leaf is. And now I'm going to take and try to make a shadow. So, see, I'm looking at it head on here. So I guess I should probably do the shadow about where I'm seeing this right now.
And if you didn't see if you didn't see the original picture that I posted today, she had the leaf that she used for reference next to the picture that she did. And when you, like any kind of 3D image, or the illusion of a 3D image, when you look at it from a certain angle with the original, they look exactly the same with the shadow. It's really cool. Zoom out a little bit because we're working with the whole image. No, because you're working with more of the whole image now. I wanted people to see what you're seeing. Nick said you have to have shadow.
Yeah.
I think especially with a piece like this where you're not having a background, yeah, it just gives it more perspective.
I picked up the crayon. Oh, I was worried about that. I don't know if I can fix that. Let's see.
Oh, because you went over.
I should have done the alcohol after the alcohol markers. That'll teach us. That'll teach us. I'm gonna get the shadow in and then try to fix it later. Or maybe I can go in with the colorless blender, which is like an eraser. We'll see.
Is that what that one clearish looking cap is? After this, you'll have to tell us about that because I've never heard of a colorless blender.
Okay. I'm trying not to get too close to it now because I don't want it picking up any of the... See, it picked it up down here too.
Oh, okay. So next time, don't take my... When you said, I think I'm going to do shadow first, and I said, oh. So that would be my mistake, guys.
Yep.
Learning from my mistake.
Get a little bit of warm shadow in there too.
It's a little darker. That's nice.
Yeah, this is a warm gray.
Now, I think you explained it before, because I know we have one colored pencil set that has, like, what, seven or 8 different grays
in it, yeah.
Like 20% warm gray, 30% warm gray, so that just means how much darker it is, or?
Yeah, just a certain percentage of gray, yeah. So this is the color, it's not going to fix it because that part of the paper is already pilling. So there's nothing I can do except later on I can go in with some white. But the colorless blender might fix it here. Let's see. No, it's not going to do it. It would have fixed it already. So a colorless blender will basically fix a marker mistake or blend your marker together. But since I've already got crayon on here, it's not going to do it. So that paper right there, you can see it's pilling it. Like it's actually lifting the paper.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's already ruined that. But there we go. It's
very cool. I'm gonna
kind of like it.
And we have, I can't read this person's name. Last name Hernandez. I can't read the first part. It starts with a C. Coronel Hernandez, I think it's what it
Is it your
says.
son name?
Nope. Very cool. So I just zoomed out so everybody can see it.
Okay,
It looks
there we
really
go.
cool.
There we go, guys.
It was good where it was. It showed it through the same kind of shadow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I
That's
couldn't get
very
as close to the leaf as I wanted with the shadow because of the crayon is already on there. Because somebody told me not to do it
Yes.
right away.
So there's a teaching lesson. What if I do the crayon before the marker? That's what happens.
Yes.
Picks it up and...
Do your shadow, do all your marker first.
probably because the alcohol picked up the...
Yeah,
pencil,
it
right?
did.
Okay.
It did. It picked up the crayon. But, yep, there we go.
Very
So
cool.
any questions before?
Darcy said beautiful. So they're just delayed a couple seconds. So
Okay.
wait a couple seconds before Nick said wow. Did anyone have any questions about what we did, or they wanted?
Any suggestions for next week? We're going to do, or Saturday, we're going to do the water-soluble pencils, guys, and the big graphite.
Yeah, those are cool.
They're very cool. We got to figure out what we're going to do yet, though.
Is that so? Those three that are in the pack, are they all the same one, or are they different ones?
They're different shades.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we're going to do, these are amazing to work with. So I've got my water-soluble pencils and these, and we'll try to figure out something to do.
Your little fancy pencil sharpener down there.
I love my Derwent stuff. I love Derwent anything.
So yeah, so that's something to look forward to. And then obviously, like the cover, you can see, just one of the things that they did with it. So
yep,
we're trying to come up with ideas.
Something a little different once in a while. So if you guys have any ideas during the week, just give us a shout.
Yeah, or if you have any other questions that you remember later that you wanted to ask, just feel free to message us and we can answer them before Saturday.
Yep.
So
Or Saturday, yep. See, it did go through the back, so it's a good thing that we did have this plastic on. Yep.
Very cool.
Yep.
I didn't know what that was for. Awesome.
All right.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.